morning, everybody. How is everybody doing this evening? I have an awesome kit for y'all. Awesome, 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 awesome. Did I say awesome? So nice, I had to say it twice. All right, y'all, check it out. Okay. Let me show you how amazing this kit is. Number one, look at the size of these sunflowers. Look at that. Look at the size of these sunflowers that you're going to get in this kit. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. And then the masterpiece. Look at that. Look at how pretty these are, y'all. Look how pretty. Do y'all see how pretty that is? And then you get one big one. Okay? And then we're going to top those sunflowers with some beautiful foliage. And you're going to get this one foliage stem, but y'all look, let me show y'all. Even when you go to order these, like Lori has some, I don't think she has any more of this color, but look at how this is. Look at all you get on this. Like, I don't think y'all realize what a big stem this actually is. Look at this. Are y'all seeing this? Like, look at that. We're going to cut a lot of pieces off of this, y'all. This is a nice, nice stem. Okay? That's one. And then to add a little texture to it, whoop, 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 another beautiful stem. Look at this. Lots of pieces on that to add some texture and a little bit of a lighter color to go with the sunflowers. And then to put a little bit of orangey in it, we're going to use a little bit of foxtail. And it too has a lot on it. Look at these nice stems we're getting. Aren't they? Look at these. Like, look at that, y'all. Look at that. Okay. And then, because we have so much foliage and stuff, we don't need much ribbon. So we just need one roll. And then for our base, we're going to use some brown mesh. Zip ties. And rectangle boards. Now, you can, if you want to, make one very large centerpiece, which is kind of what we had in mind when we designed this kit, was one large centerpiece. So I want to show you really quick, before we get started, what we kind of had in mind. What we kind of had in mind, oh yeah, The mesh is awesome, y'all. The mesh is awesome. It's the border stripe mesh. I don't know if y'all can see that very well. Now y'all can see it. See it? It's the border stripe mesh. Okay, so I'm going to show you really quick kind of what I had in mind with making a large centerpiece on how you place the flowers. So I just kind of wanted to show you what went through my head. Was your big sunflower kind of in the center and then trailing down the centerpiece, you know, kind of with your larger ones. Okay, so it's kind of what I had in mind with that, but these are so large, it would end up being a very, so if you want a very large centerpiece, knock your socks off. But Lori and I decided last minute, better use for this kit is, and it's still going to be a large centerpiece and a wreath. What do y'all think about that? Alright, so to get started, we're going to do the centerpiece tonight. And we are only going to need 8 pieces of mesh for the centerpiece. And if I can not run my mouth so much, hopefully maybe we would get to the wreath, but, you know, we'll see. And we're going to cut our mesh 20 inches. And we're going to cut just 8 pieces. Okay? So there's our 8 pieces of mesh. And we're going to set that to the side. And then we're going to get our floral, and I'm going to get my little boxes here. And what I'm going to do is we're going to cut these down into the smaller groupings. Like that. So on each stem, there's about 4 smaller groupings. 3 to 4. Now, if you don't have cutters, I'm just using cutters to save time as opposed to watching me kind of rip these apart. You can rip them off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut about half of these off of here for the centerpiece. Because that's all we need. And I don't even think I cut half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're going to cut 3 more so that we have 16. Okay, so 16 of these, and then you're still going to have, see how much, you have plenty left. Okay? Hello, Miss Lisa, how are you? Hello, Miss Lori. Okay, so, with these, okay, we're going to in a little bit. We're just going to cut these off, and you can just rip these off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that will leave you 8 for your wreath. Okay? And then off of this, we're going to cut smaller pieces again. Okay? 1. And I'm going to take these longer pieces for the centerpiece. So that's what I'm going to try to aim for. 1, 2. Because we'll use these to give it a little bit of length. So that's, and we'll save the shorter ones for the wreath. I think I got all the long ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 2 more pieces. Okay. And that leaves you 8 for your wreath. Okay. Believe me, y'all, we make sure that you have enough supplies, because literally we go counting this stuff to make sure. Okay? So once again, 8, 8, 16. Everybody got that? And this is for your centerpiece. And we're going to set these aside for the wreath and the leftover mesh in one frame. Now, I'm just going to say that Jackie is not zip tie proficient. I know a lot of you are. So, because I'm not zip tie proficient, I'm going to use pipe cleaners. So, please forgive me. Because when it comes to zip ties, I just knoweth not what I doeth. Okay? But what I'm going to do, because we're not adding ribbon tonight, I'm going to cut my zip ties in half to conserve them, I think. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and use the full zip tie. Just be safe. Okay, so what we're going to do for placement, we're going to start at the end and put 1, and then skip over and put another, and then go to center, and then skip over and put another. And we know Jackie is, we've seen me with zip ties, okay? Right? People sitting there shaking their heads going, Jackie, please don't. Just don't. So Jackie's not going to. Because y'all would like to see this come to life tonight, right? So 8 pipe cleaners is what we're going to use total. Or for those of you that are zip tie proficiento, you will use 8 zip ties. I'm here to tell you, like, I ain't hating on no zip tie. I'm just like, come on, y'all. Sometimes I'm trying to learn new tricks. I try to learn new tricks all the time. Y'all know what I mean? But I'm going to teach y'all some tips and tricks tonight. Okay? Okay, so we're going to start at the end, which is really important. It's really important to start at the end and put your ruffle in. And we're just going to roll this up one time and then ruffle your little heart out. And then just tuck that in. And then we're going to go to the other side. Do the same thing. Make one roll and then ruffle, ruffle, ruffle. Now, typically what I do when I'm doing two things like this, I would actually make both bases at the same time and then set one base aside and then come back to it. The mesh is cut at 20 inches. By the way, here in just a minute, y'all will see my little tip and trick that I'm going to show you as well. I love this, y'all. And think about it like this, like if you have an entryway, some people have an entryway and they have a little table, you can put the centerpiece on your table and then hang the wreath up above it because some people like to decorate just their entryway for the seasons. So now you'll have a centerpiece and a wreath to hang there. Or you'll have a centerpiece to put on your kitchen table and a wreath to put on your door. y'all see that? Did y'all catch what Lori said? Is that for this kit, Lori, before I open my mouth? Yes, I'm understanding what you said correctly. Make sure before I open my mouth. Okay, so Lori just said that for this kit, she'll have the packing crew throw in a pack of the pipe cleaners, which will come in real handy, and I will show you why when I show you this trick. The other reason I kind of like pipe cleaners, but you can not necessarily use pipe cleaners to put your mesh on, but you can kind of use pipe cleaners for the trick I'm going to show you. Okay, now you can get sunflowers, and believe it or not, the reason we were able to put such an amazing kit together with such beautiful sunflowers is because they don't have a stem on them. I don't know what makes these a little bit less expensive to get without the stem, I guess because of the foliage and whatnot. So that's why we were able to put together an amazing kit. So, but you need a play to put the sunflower on, right? Right. That's what we're going to kind of use the pipe cleaners for, which you will see in a minute. All right. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go around and put our foliage on. And we're going to do that all in one fatal swoop. We're going to get one of each. We're going to get 2 of these. And 1 of each of these. And when you rip the foxtail off, there's a wire. Can you see it? There's a little bit of wire. Okay, so when you rip the foxtail off, there's a little bit of wire. You see that length of wire? Okay, so what we're going to do, take your foliage up like that. Put this one out to the side. Put this one on the other side. And to make our pick, we're going to use our existing wire. And we're going to wrap all of these together nice and tight. Okay? With that wire. And then what you want to do to secure that wire down is bend your stems like so to make your own pick. Don't worry, I'll show y'all how to do that again. Alright? And then what I want to do to make sure that it's all warm, fuzzy, nice and secure, I don't want anything coming apart. Okay, now this is where if you do zip ties, you kind of do it all in one motion with your mesh and your pick. Those of you that use zip ties a lot, you know that. Okay, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to hot glue this tip here with all my picks to make sure they're not going to come apart. Alright, and then I'm going to stick this down into my pipe cleaner and give it a double secure and tie that up. And then at the same time, and then we'll fluff it back out. Because all of this is wired up nicely, so we'll fluff it back out. Okay? So one more time, what we're going to do, grab 2 of these, 1 of these, and 1 of your foxtails. The foxtail has wire on it right here. And then take and line them up like this to where the wire is sticking down below your stems. Make you a nice little bundle like this. And then take your wire from your foxtail and wrap it around your stems. Okay, then to secure it, take one of your stems and bend it down over that wire to hold that wire. And then for double security, hot glue, because we don't want anything coming apart. Now, even if you use a zip tie, I would recommend hot gluing the end of this just to make sure it doesn't come apart. Okay? And then once again, we're going to lay our concoction in here. Give it a good tight with our, and then fluff it all out. And see how we're getting nice foliage here? Everybody with me? Everybody got that? Any questions on how to do that? And when you do this and you use zip ties, the lump of hot glue is going to keep your foliage from sliding back out of your zip tie as well. Now, there have been times with some items that I've gone back and I've used zip ties to really make sure that my items are good and secure depending on the weight. So don't anybody think for 1 second I'm anti-pipe cleaning, because I'm not. I'm just a old dog, y'all. thought I miscounted for a second. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't. But like I said, I support you in whatever you need to use to make your wreath. That is what is most important, my friends. It's not how we get there, it's how it ends. Y'all know what I mean? I've been making wreaths a long time, and I've never had a customer say, I don't want that wreath. You didn't make the bow by hand. Alright, so now that the glue has cooled down, I'm going back and I am adjusting my pieces, kind of raising them up, pulling them apart, just kind of like, you know, fluffing them out. Because fluffing them out is going to make everything come to life. Okay, so here's the neat trick. We're going to use this for our wreath, the very large one. Okay, so we're going to set that one aside. And we're going to use the smaller ones for our centerpiece. And in comes the trick, okay, to putting these on. Because we're kind of just going to go down the center with these. So what you want to do is you want to take your pipe cleaners and put them together. Okay? And you want to twist them together. Twist, 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 twist in the night away. And then you'll take your flower head and you'll glue it onto the top of your pipe cleaners. And you might need to cut the pipe cleaner down because this one is like too long, as y'all can see. So we need to cut that down just a little bit, and that's fine. But first, I think we're going to add just a smidge of ribbon to get that green color in there. And what we're going to do is we're just going to cut this 12 inches since we're putting it on top of our foliage. And we're just going to cut 8 pieces. I love this 7/8 ribbon, y'all. Oops, I accidentally cut that one at 14. Habit. What on earth? One's too short, one's too long. What did I do? Oh, I bet I know what I did. Cut one at 14 and the other one at 24. Oops. Let's try that. Just need one more. We got anybody new with us tonight? Alright, so the ribbon, once again, 8 pieces, 12 inches, and this is going to kind of look like our leaves. That's why I decided to add them, because it's just like the right color green to look like our sunflower leaves. So check this out. Normally, as y'all know, I start with my ribbon, but since this ribbon is skinnier, and I'm going to cut it shorter, add it on top so it still shows up. And then once I get the sunflowers on, we'll go zhuzhing it up a little bit more. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 pipe cleaners from across the way. One from over here and one from over here. And we're going to bring these two together and we're going to twist them like so, together. All the way up. And those are in the center. And we're going to use that to put our first flower head on in the center. Y'all with me? And what you want to do is you want to shoot just a little bit of hot glue down into your... Now, if you're not going to use pipe cleaners, I'm here to tell you, y'all, you can hot glue these honeys straight to the mesh and you're fine when you're doing a centerpiece. They're not going to go anywhere. And the mesh is fluffy enough that it's going to hold your sunflower up. You don't have to worry about it. So if you don't want to do it this way and you're using zip ties, that's fine. Just hot glue it down. Are y'all with me on that? Okay. Now what we're going to do for the second one, is we're going to once again, we're going to bridge the gap between two pipe cleaners. We're going to pull them together. Like so. Twist, twist, twist. Now, if you want to, you can take and use your large sunflower for the centerpiece and then two smaller ones. Change it up. Whatever you want to do. And then this sunflower, we're going to take our pipe cleaner and we're going to make it tilt down a little bit. We're going to tilt it down to give it dimension. Okay, so you want to tilt this one down on that side. And then once again, we're going to take two pipe cleaners across the way. Push your mesh out of the way. And take two of your pipe cleaners across the way and twist, twist, twist. Once again, if you prefer to use zip ties, honey, you go right on with your bad self. You slather up the back of this with some hot glue and just go pop, okay? You can do that, especially with the centerpiece. Now, I'm going to tell y'all how I started doing this. It was because for years, I've been using pipe cleaners. Well, guess what? I couldn't stand the look of these sticking out. So I would take I found out little bitty flowers, and I would just, in my spring and floral pieces, I would take little bitty flowers and pop on the end of my pipe cleaners to cover them up. And then I think with the end here, we'll add just a little bit of a bow. And to do that, we're going to cut two pieces, 22 inches. One. We're going to make this easy peasy to add a couple of bows on the end. And we're just going to loop this together, end to end. Overlap it about an inch to half an inch to an inch. And then pull it, make sure it's straight, and then make your two loops like so. Make sure they're even. And then pinch everything together. And tie it into your pipe cleaner. And make you a couple of nice little bows on the end. And that's one. And then once again, loop your ribbon together. Find center. And I always double check. Pull my 2 loops, make sure that, take my thumb, make sure that that's even. And then pinch, pinch, pinch. And then tie it in with my pipe cleaner. And then form my little bow. And then if you want to, you can kind of go back and lift up some of your pieces and push your ribbon down just a little bit if you want to. Kind of weave your ribbon in just a little bit. Look at that, y'all. Isn't that beautiful? And now you have a centerpiece. Is Lori still here?